Well, hello, Young and the Restless Daily Recap fans. Today's daily recap is for Tuesday, July the 11th, 2023. Tuesday, July the 11th. Well, let's see what we have going on in Genoa City. We have Tucker and Ashley, you know, having their usual deal on, little lunch, dinner, brunch, whatever they're going to do. They always at society. And he gives her this gift box. And she's like, what is this? No, no, no. I thought we weren't going to be doing this. Right. And he goes, no, it's your wedding gift. She goes, especially I thought we weren't going to be doing this. And see, here's the thing. I'm not liking Ashley the way she's truly trying to stomp all over Tucker's heart. See, now you're using the man for what you want to use him for, but you're giving him no true emotional attachment. The only thing you're doing is having sex with the man. You feel like that'll shut him up. But as we're starting to see, Tucker's starting to get a little unhappy, and not saddened, really, a little saddened and disappointed with the lack of progression with Ashley's feelings towards him, because he's done everything she's asked him to do, right? Oh, you want to prove it? Do this. He does this. Oh, you want to prove that? Do this. Do that. Anyway, so she goes, what is this? And it's the number. And he goes, this is the number to my guy that can find the EMT. Now, this is what I'm saying, everybody. Victor's men have been trying to find that EMT. Michael's folks have been trying to find that EMT. The police haven't been able to find that EMT, right? But Tucker says, this is the number. I'll find him. And look, he can definitely corroborate Phyllis's story. And she goes, wait, why would we want to bring Phyllis into this? She's a loose cannon. Look at what direction she went into this last time. He said, bottom line, Phyllis is useful because whenever Phyllis is around, Diane gets unhinged. And she goes, but yet so does Phyllis. And she goes off the deep end. He goes, okay, but listen, we are going to point Phyllis in Jack's direction. And Ashley says, I don't know how that would work. He says, well, bottom line, Phyllis and Jack have a long history, just like Phyllis and Diane. Phyllis can get to work on getting Jack's forgiveness, just like Diane got Jack's forgiveness. That in itself will cause Diane to go off the rails. It'll cause her to make stupid mistakes. It'll cause, so Ashley's like, okay, I'm liking this, because her whole thing is to take her brother's, whatever. We've heard that song and dance before. So she ends up telling them, go for it. Call them up, right? She's all in. So I thought, okay, the EMT will show up like real soon. If Tucker's involved, watch, it'll show up. Jack decides he's calling a family meeting. A family meeting. So Tracy and Billy get there and they're like, and it's just Diane and Jack. And Tracy said, it's a family meeting. Aren't we missing 2 family members? And Jack goes, no. Every pertinent person is here. So Tracy's looking a little puzzled and she sits down, but she looks at Billy and Billy's like, they both sit down. Jack goes in on what Ashley is going to do, how Ashley has the audacity to start her own company. Ashley this, Ashley that. And Ashley, they all had to read about it during the press announcement. And so Tracy goes, Jack, hang on. Wait, what are you saying? He goes, Ashley, we have to get together and we have to deal with Ashley. She has no regard for none of us. And he goes, it's evident by that press release. And so Tracy goes, You know what? I hate to be the one to point out the elephant, but that's exactly what you did, Jack, when you announced that Diane was getting a executive position. And Diane's like, well, that's hardly the same thing. Tracy goes, no, 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 that is the same thing. You and Billy kind of looked like, because see, he told Jack, you did that funky. Oh no, right? And so she goes, no, it's the same thing. We all had to read about it, right? Jack goes, Diane is going to be a member of this family, and I didn't have to. So Tracy just looks like, oh, Ashley didn't have to either, right? Jack goes, we need to get together and we need to vote Ashley off the board of directors. Tracy said, wait, you want to do what? And Billy says, wait, what? And Billy's like, no, you know? And so Tracy says, Jack, oh no, we are not going that far. And before they get to that part, Kyle walks in and Kyle says, wait, oh, a family meeting? Oh, and I wasn't invited. So Jack says, this is a family meeting regarding Jabot issues. And Kyle says, like I said, and I wasn't invited. Jack said, and he's sitting down, not since you walked away from the family company. No, you are no longer privy to Jabot business. And Tracy says, Jack, wait a minute. That's a little harsh. Wait. And so Kyle says, what? And he goes, you walked away. So therefore you've relinquished. And Diane's like, Jack, don't do this. Don't do this. And so Tracy stands up. Kyle, honey, Kyle, listen. No. He doesn't mean that, Kyle. Jack, tell him you don't mean it. She's trying to really be the mediator. And Billy is just like, wow. Because you know how many times, Billy is just back at Jabot after years of not working at Jabot. And he's always had his seat, right? And so he could be privy on any Jabot meetings. And so for Jack to hold that stand to Kyle, and he goes, yeah, because Kyle says, yeah, because you wanted to demote me. He says, I told you no matter how many times, it would not be a demotion. It would be a comparable position. I would make sure but I was CEO of Marquetti and you chose to stab your own son in the back and give it to Summer. So yeah, I walked away. And so Jack looked at him and he looked at Jack, and Tracy said, Kyle, honey, no, listen, please stay. Kyle, please, honey, no. And Kyle looked at Jack. You know how Kyle get that. Jack looked at Kyle like, I'm wondering if you my son right now. You know, what you gonna do? In that Jack Abbott kind of, I'm gonna turn my back on you fashion. And Kyle said, so be it. And he turned and he started walking out the door. Diane jumps up, Jack, no, Kyle, no, don't go, Kyle, Jack, Kyle, don't. And Kyle slams the door on his way out. Diane turned and she looked at Jack. And Tracy and Billy are looking at Jack. And Jack is, after Kyle left and everything, now he's doing like, that hurt me. Yeah, okay. Oh, it hurt you, right? So he goes, all right, look, it's time to take that vote. No, that's what he talked about. Ashley needed to be ousted. Tracy says, no, that is not Daddy's wish. Daddy's wishes were that we all maintain a seat on the board of directors for a reason, Jack. That has been put in place for a reason. And no, I will not vote to oust Ashley. And Billy's like, no, me either. Nope. And so she goes, and you don't even know how Abby would vote, nor should Abby be put in that situation to vote against her. Oh no, Jack. And so she goes, Tracy looks at Diane. She goes, Diane, I'm sure you're going to be on Jack's side, right? And Jack would have been, yeah, and then we're gonna have the minority, I guess, because he got somebody else in his hip pocket. And so Diane looked, she goes, well, actually, and Jack said, wait, what do you mean, actually? She goes, actually, I don't think we should do, this is not how it should play out. We shouldn't like because she was like, no, that's like an overplaying of our hand. So no, I don't think she should be ousted off the, and Jack looked at her for the first time like she wasn't the salt of this earth. And he looked at her, and you know how he gets with it, he clenches them lips. Tracy goes, now that's how the majority is supposed to work. Thank you. Case closed, Jack. So Diane actually did something against Jack, but guess what? Diane did something against Jack because she was pissed. It wasn't voting Ashley off the board. Diane could care less about that. It was the way Jack treated Kyle. She did not like that one bit. She didn't like it at all. So yeah, okay. She showed Jack, you don't have no, you just aren't gonna pull that coup. Because she was all on board with it when they first got there until Jack did what he did. So it's interesting. Adam says the name of his new company and it makes no sense. Adustus. Adustus. I don't get that. International. What kind of horrible name is that, Adam? Please, let's make sure that don't really happen. Adustus. So anyway, now the next big thing, we get Nick. This is really stupid. Nick goes to see Vicky. And she goes, oh, Nick. He should have called. He goes, no. He says, that way what? So you could have security try to stop me at the door? She goes, no, we already know security has never stopped you before from getting in this building. So she's being flippant about, how's your time off? And then he goes, I'm here checking on my support team. You've dismantled them. I want to make sure they're being taken care of. She goes, they are in comparable positions. They're fine. And so he said, okay, so what happens when I come back, Victoria? She goes, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. And Nicholas just looks at her like, And he goes, look, I just want to give you a heads up, right? That our father is at it again, right? And he wants me to go and work with Adam. And Victoria kind of straightens up a bit. And she goes, oh, really? He says, yeah. And he goes, but I'm trying to Vic, see what's going on here. Because it seems like you're trying to actually really push me out. And so she goes, Nate is more in line with my vision. And he goes, oh, okay. But I thought your reasoning for wanting me to be the COO was because you wanted me to be your voice of reason, Victoria. And she goes, I no longer need that. So perhaps you should go work with Adam and save him from himself. You could go be his voice of reason. And Nick just looked at her like, be careful what you wish for, little sister. Be careful what you wish for. And Victoria just looked, see what she then will start to do once this little partnership happens, because we already know no matter how much Adam hates Nick and blah, 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 they're going to be working together. We can already see that handwriting on the wall. Victoria will be asking Nick to come to Newman Towers, to invite him over for out for drinks or lunch, and say, so what's going on? What's Adam's plan? And he ain't gonna tell her jack. He's gonna look at her and he's gonna say, I'm sorry, Vicky. You're mistaking me for Nate. And she'll be like, no, you're family. We're family. And you need to protect Newman Enterprises. And Nick will say, well, right now, I'm protecting whatever their name is, right? Whatever Adam's, the new name's going to be. And then Victoria's going to look like she's got egg on her face. Because, see, I'm sorry, Nate has this much business sense. I mean, experience, this much. Nick has had decades. Decades. He's even run Newman here and there when he needed to step in. Nate doesn't hold a candle to Nick. So now we got Adam and we got Nick. Victoria doesn't stand a chance. A chance. So I'm looking forward to that, everybody. I'm really, really looking forward to that. So let me see. I think that is pretty. Oh, here we go. This is what was crazy to me. We had at the beginning, opening scene of the show, Summer meeting Phyllis where, everybody? In the busy, busy park. Now, yesterday when she met Michael in the busy, busy park, she had her little stupid black wig on. Now, Phyllis got this long, flowy red hair now, her natural hair flowing out from under this black hat and dark glasses. Soon as she walked up, I thought, well, the heck, that's Phyllis, right? Summer's like, Mom, she's looking like, and Phyllis is sitting on the bench with a magazine up like this. That doesn't look conspicuous. Let me see, do I have a magazine? I don't have a magazine around here because she's holding it up. Let me see if I got a book. No, I don't have one. She's holding it up way up here. And someone goes, Mom. And she goes, have you been followed? Did anybody follow you? I'm thinking, oh my God, amateur hour. So they sit down, they hug, they talk. What's going on with you, baby girl? And oh, her marriage. She says, Mom, let's just run away to a country with no extradition. Me and you. I have nothing here to hold me here. Oh, has it gotten that bad, Summer? Has it gotten that bad, baby girl? Right? And she goes, yes. It's that bad, right? And so she goes, oh, I feel somewhat responsible for what happened. You see that look on Summer's face in the top middle? She looked at her mother when she said, I feel so, like somewhat responsible. She looked at her, she said, that's because you are responsible. Like, you are responsible. And Phyllis kind of looks at her like, what? I'm going to fix this. I'm going to fix this. I'm going to go to Kyle. She goes, no, you're not going to go to Kyle. Nope, no, you're not. We need to get a plan to get you back here, right? She goes, no, I'm going to fix this. I'm going to fix this and I'm going to fix everything. I am, whatever. So then later, Michael Baldwin is at the same park, looking nervous, looking around like, oh my goodness. And I said, not another meeting with Phyllis in the park. She comes up behind him, hey, and it's Phyllis, just asking for it. So they talk, and she's, saying, I got to get Michael, you got to find that EMT. We've got to end this. I've got to help my daughter. I'll do anything to help my daughter. Her life is in shambles. And I'm partially to blame. Michael looked at her and he goes, you think? Like, partially, Phyllis cannot accept responsibility for anything, right? So anyway, they have a good talk, and he says, yes, there's blah, 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 blah. Well, the same talk they had the day before. They had now. So then later shows Audra, she and Kyle, her trying to, so are you going to accept my position? Because I can make it pleasing to you. And he goes, oh, it's going to cost you. I'm not cheap. But, this little banter negotiate. And I'm like, as if you have the power, Audra, to offer a high salary to anybody. Now, even when Nate wanted to bring Audra on as the COO, who did Nate have to clear it with? Victoria. So Audra has to clear Kyle with Victoria, right? I mean, okay, Audra, you don't have that kind of clout, girl. So Summer, she's by the little swingy door. She had just come in. She was getting ready to go upstairs, but she's watching Audra, the way she's sitting. You could tell that flirtiness, that flirtatiousness, and what she's talking to Kyle. Kyle's kind of leaning over saying, well, I got it. And Summer's like, huh. So she walks over to him. Hi, Kyle. And Audra sees her walking over to him. So Audra kind of straightens up a bit. See, because I'm sorry, Victor Newman is Summer's grandfather. And so Summer says, am I interrupting something? And Audra's like, well, no, actually, I have to get back to the office. I've got an important day ahead of me, or I've got an important rest of my day. So she gets up and she goes, oh, and Kyle, I'll get back to you on that other matter. And she turns, and she's kind of switching as she walks away, and Summer's just looking at her as she's walking away. Ta-ta. That's what Audra says. Ta-ta. And Summer's like, ta-ta. And she looks at Kyle. She goes, what did I walk in on? And he goes, I don't know what you're talking about, Summer. No. What's happening here? And Kyle is like, she offered me a job as her COO. And so Summer says, wow. Her? You sure don't waste much time. And he's standing up and he's signing the check. And he goes, it's my business, Summer. What I do is not yours. And so she goes, but you do realize that's my brother's ex-girlfriend. And you know how that went. And she goes, doesn't she seem sketchy to you or up to something? Can't you see that? And he looked at her and he goes, well, I guess I do have a type. And he looked at her and she was like, wait, what? And he turned and he walked away. And I was like, ooh, that was a good slap in the face without a slap in the face. So we have Sharon talking to Victor. And she's telling, Victor, she's got a proposition, right? Proposition. And he goes, what? And she was saying, I know you want Nick to work with Adam, but, I could be a better choice, a better liaison, blah, blah, blah. And Victor's kind of intrigued, but they really didn't get into an answer from him, right? But Sharon is definitely going to go after trying to propose an idea to Adam. But that was pretty much it for The Young and the Restless. We shall see what's going to happen tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow for another daily recap on The Young and the Restless.